Okay. Here's hoping. Once again, bear with me. Trying to find. Why are you not showing up? Sorry, guys, I'm a little discombobulated tonight. Let's see. I had to. Wife's not feeling well, so I had to take her to get looked at, and just getting back. So let's see here. Where are you? Oh, I don't want this to go. It's alive. I'm staring at my phone right now because for no reason I can ascertain I cannot see the live video on YouTube, which is usually the only way I can look at the actual chat. So once I find it, I will. Let's go here. Let's go live. Let's go here. I'll pretend I am also a participant. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. Just want to maybe get rid of a little of this shadow at the bottom of my paper here. Doesn't make me happy. Does that look all right to you guys? Okay. All right, so I believe the Snowtrooper, Imperial Snowtrooper, is the one that won the poll. So that's what we're going to be doing. What I'm probably going to do is try to stop every once in a while and check the chat. So if I stop drawing and seem to space out for a few seconds, it's not me normally spacing out, it's me trying to read the chat. All right, I have not warmed up or anything, so this should be interesting. Let me see here. I actually printed out some reference. Shockingly enough. Everybody staying cool, or at least not melting. Let's see over here, Mr. Snowtrooper. I believe it, Jason. Yeah, you're right, Bob. It's totally people just wanting to escape the heat. I'll see what I can do here. Okay. Once again, I do a light sketch with this fat lead, and then I'll erase it. Don't panic. I can still see it. And then I will do the darker sketch. All right, let's see here. going to be a little bit trickier without Alicia here because she also will ask me questions and whatnot if I am not being very talkative. Yeah, she just, I don't know if it's sort of something she ate or something, but she just was feeling kind of lightheaded and a little woozy, and she kind of resisted a little bit going to be seen. And then she was very, she's very adamant that I race back here and do this, so it'll be a good distraction. And then, I mean, to be honest, you know how it goes. Probably by the time we're done here, she still won't have been seen by anybody. So nothing too serious, I hope. Doesn't seem that way anyway. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, honestly. Okay. Trooper. Yeah, Bob, I think it will. I mean, I already feel better because my hands are doing stuff. Plus, I get to hang out with you guys. Oh, there you go. See? She's probably stuck in the waiting room up there watching the live stream because apparently whatever she's got going on isn't discomfort enough. Well, they can't all be witches, Autumn. Otherwise, I think people would get bored pretty quick. Maybe not. Maybe come October, I'll do a lot of witches, try to do different types and stuff. Who knows? Okay. Fun to maybe have. Let's see here. Make sure you guys can see this. Let me know if I'm mumbling too much too. I tend to, when I'm thinking, I can't multitask. I only have 2 hamsters running on the wheel in my brain. Maybe he doesn't realize there's a wampa behind him. Thinks he's got easy rebel scum to take out. What is my favorite Stormtrooper design? Whew. That is a good question. I don't know if anybody remembers from, when I say anybody, I mean any other Star Wars nerds. There was introduced in, I think, the Timothy Zahn trilogy, like 0G Stormtroopers. And I liked how they were represented in some of the source books / comics, where they had like bulkier armor and like jetpacks and life support gear and stuff. Some of the way that was depicted, I think was pretty cool. I mean, it's hard to go wrong too with the classic Scout Trooper armor from the speeder bikes, like Return of the Jedi. What about you guys? Okay. I'm gonna recalibrate my layout here. All right, here we go. Scary part. All right. Well, let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, you know what, Jason? That's true. I like those shore troopers from Rogue One. I think is where they first showed up. Really cool design. Plus, they weren't just the classic white and black. They had that like off-white, almost tan color. Try messing with some shadows a little bit more on this guy. Sorry, Bob. It's really for the best, though. It makes the final sketch a little less incoherent. Not so much the artist, but the sketch. Well, yeah. I mean, you know what's funny about that, Jason? My love of Transformers and Star Wars. I never could get into the Star Wars Transformers, which you would think like that would be I'd be all about that, but I remember when they came out and thought, oh, those are cool, but I don't really want it. I don't know. I've always had a kind of a weird hang up on Transformers turning into like organic stuff. So even though they're like robot versions of Han Solo or Luke Skywalker or whatever, that's why I was never a Beast Wars guy. Other people in the stream are like, nerd, nerd, dork, dork, nerd, dork. You know, and somebody's gonna think, well, what about the Dinobots? They turn into, yeah, but they turn into like very obviously robot versions of dinosaurs. Plus, you know, it's nerd stuff. It doesn't need to make sense. trying to keep from shifting this paper out of this shot. For some reason, I want to keep pushing it away from you guys. This pencil is an HB lead, and you know, I don't know what the size is. Hang on. There you go, 0.7. I don't know if you can see that. I got a delay on my view of the camera, so I'm going to hold this here for a minute. It's probably too dark. But anyway, 0.7 HB lead. And again, like, it's pretty soft, so that's part of the reason I don't use this right from the get-go. If I use this guy and did all my sketchy stuff and then tried to erase it, you'd see a lot of it and it'd be pretty smudgy. I am going to fudge this rifle for sure. But hey, it's a sketch, right? That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. There's a famous comic artist back in the day who came up with a very near and dear maxim to my heart, which is, when in doubt, black it out. So, look, it's totally the silhouette of a rifle. It was Wally Wood, I think, who said that. What do you usually use, Bob, if you've never used the 0.7? Yeah, this is screwy. You can tell already. Okay. 3.3, sweet Jesus. I think I would probably, because I'm such a, like I said, ham-fisted penciler, if I had like a 0.3, I'd probably just carve furrows through the paper. Okay, so a couple of questions here. For someone who wants to start drawing, what do you recommend they do? Run away and get into AI? No, I'm kidding. What I would do is utilize YouTube. There's just such a plethora of stuff that's available from amazing artists on YouTube that, you know, it's hard for me to say, you know, oh, you should look into going to art school or something. There is some usefulness to that, and I can get into that too, but there's just so much out there on YouTube, and you can literally just search basic drawing lessons and start right there, and you'll never run out of stuff to train with. The thing that got me started actually was Bob, and he had a book that I still have a copy of called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. And yeah, it's kind of comic centric, but it's just an amazing book about drawing all kinds of different stuff, breaking complicated shapes down, making them manageable. Just a lot of great stuff for starting out with. But yeah, that's probably what I would do. Let's see. Jason asked me, have you ever used the light box to move from plan to sketch? All the time. Yeah, let's say I wanted to take this thing and make it a finished inked piece, I would probably light box it onto Bristol board because that would take the ink better. That happens quite a bit with me. I'll do a sketch because there's an energy a lot of times in the sketch that's hard to duplicate. And I'll try to recapture that with the light box. Sometimes it's hard. Why am I giving that guy extra? What am I, AI? Yeesh. Give this guy an extra finger. Maybe he's a near human. That's my excuse. But yeah, I do use a light box quite a bit, Jason. And then tracing things to start, it's great. I'll show you. Not even just to start. One of the things that, let's see if I can find it here. May not be able to. Yeah. So growing up with a Catholic mom, it's difficult to learn to draw women well because you don't want to get caught looking at certain materials. And just the other day, I was actually tracing from illustration by Frank Cho, who's an amazing artist, and he draws incredible women. And so I literally traced this a couple of times just to get the muscle memory. So it's not just a tool to start. I mean, I wouldn't trace something and then submit it as my art. But when you're learning, yeah, I think it's great. You know, like Bruce Lee said, whatever works. As long as it doesn't become a crutch, I think you should go for it. Hiding things on myself here. How are we doing for time? I'm getting slow here. Yeah, good old Mark Silvestri on Wolverine, huh? I still remember one sweet Wolverine comic where he's like laid up in bed and he's got like, he'd been like stabbed through the chest by some Yakuza dude. And, you know, the guy thought he had got him. And of course it's Wolverine. So then he just murdered the guy anyway. And he's like convalescing in this apartment and he's just laying on the couch with like all these bandages on his chest and he's smoking a stogie and there's smoke like leaking up through the bandages. I just thought that was super cool. All right, some snow shenanigans here. I had to name the live stream Sketchy Shenanigans because for whatever reason I love that word. I use it a lot. Just, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do him in just the rough pencils because we're not really even gonna see him. Basically the idea that I'm trying to convey here is the wind is blowing, and so if I do the lines of the silhouette in the direction the wind is blowing, it kind of conveys that a little bit. If I had more time or whatnot, obviously I wouldn't get this sloppy, but I do plan on doing some videos, not live videos, but just long form videos of working on more finished pieces for the future. I know, maybe I made him look too competent, Bob. But that's okay. He's clearly didn't make it to Echo Base on time, so that's why the rebels still got away. But man, if he'd been there. Okay, getting close to the end here. Some shadows here. Hips seem a little off, but you know what? We're going to call it distortion from the equipment here. Okay. Yeah, Jesse, it's Harry Potter all the way. Let's see. I missed something. Yeah, I think I'll utilize the poll situation more. It seems like a good idea. And like the last stream we did, those of you that were there, is kind of weird in that I had it that we randomly chose who got to pick what I was going to draw, and then a different person ended up getting the sketch, which seems kind of weird. And I don't know why I didn't think of it ahead of time, but the poll is perfect for that. All right. Okay, let's see who's going to win this bad boy tonight. So, like before, I'm going to roll this 20-sided die, and everybody who wants a chance to win the sketch guesses the number, and the first person that gets the number correctly wins the sketch. So, here we go. Let the guessing begin. Thanks, Jesse. Yeah. Everybody, it's not 20, unfortunately. I'm not going to give any hints to people that play role-playing games with me. Oh, Micah, it is 4. You win, sir. So congratulations to you. I will get this one in. Actually, I got to get you the sketch from Friday, too. All right. I think we're good. I appreciate everybody's patience. And what I'm going to do in the future is just do it on every Monday night at 8 o'clock, barring disaster. So I hope to see some or all of you next Monday night. Thanks again, guys.